Okay, let's begin. Hi to everyone. Here I am again. I did some priorities. That is why it takes several days to do the continuation of our exercise. Okay, let's start. Planning and Control Management Part 2, how to establish or develop a new project. And we have here our previous episode, session 12, that is project markup cost estimate method A. And our current episode, which is session 13, about project markup cost estimate method B. It is in the first segment because I am thinking that it will take time to complete the whole session for method B. Okay, before we proceed to the main topic for today's session 13 for project markup cost estimate method B, first segment. Let's get back to the last session 12 because we missed to consider the markup cost for project expenses. We are already aware that there are two categories of project cost that can be assigned in every project activity, namely the assigned resource cost and the other is expenses. But we did calculate only for the assigned resource cost, while the expenses cost was mislooked, I think. So let's proceed and let's do it a little bit faster. Okay, here we go. This is about the user-defined field and global chains for project markup cost estimate method A. We have already done the markup cost for the activity resource assignment. As I said, we miss the markup cost for the project expenses. So this is what we will be doing now. Okay. So that is why user-defined field parameters for project expenses. Actually, these parameters here, the only different with the parameters of the activity resource assignment is that I made the variables here as unique, because before we put the designation here as instead of J, we put it's A, B, C, D, and E that is intended for the activity resource assignment. But for now, we are working on project expenses. So we will be assigning this or defining this into our user-defined field parameters. I mean, a user-defined field in Primavera P6 to be used for the formula in calculating using the global chains. So, okay, the note here, we have to use the cost data type for all. Okay, so okay, we will proceed to Primavera P6. And then where is Primavera P6 here? And then share. Okay. We have here our Primavera P6. So we will open our project, the previous one. That is part 2, session 12. So we will open the project. We will use this short icon here on how to open the project window. Okay. Here is our project recently. That is, I put in here part 2, session 12, so that we will not be lost on looking for our projects. Okay, let's open it, right click, and then click open project. And then we will proceed to the user-defined field, which is we can find it here in the enterprise. And then look for user-defined field and then click it. Now, under the user-defined fields, our subject here is project expenses, okay? Previously, we used the activity resource assignment because we were working on the resource assignment cost, but for now we will be working on the project. The project expenses. Okay, so let's click choose it, and then let's add the parameters for the project expenses. So it will start from J. Okay, we will add first all the JK, add L, M, N, O, P, and Q. Okay, so we'll change this data type as in cost. Okay, this one J is I think the direct and indirect. And then we have here the overhead. And we have our contingency. Next is the subtotal of K plus L. That is the subtotal. And then next is N. Also the subtotal of J plus M. Okay. Also a subtotal. Next is O, which is the contractor's profit. Next is what? P is the subtotal also of N plus O. Subtotal. And then Q is the value of the tax. Okay. Okay, done. Okay, let's close. Okay. Now we will look at the column of the parameters that we just established in the user-defined field. So just click the activity of the, the activity with the expenses, which is 500,000. And then if you look at here at the bottom detail of the activity window, here we can see here the budgeted cost is 500,000. So we will insert the parameter we had just had defined in the user-defined field. So right-click here, customize. So here in the user-defined field, you can see here what we have done just a while ago. So we will show the direct and indirect, which is G. Highlight it and then use this arrow. We will put also the overhead, contingencies also, and then subtotal, we don't need it. The contractor's profit, we need it, and the value added tax. Okay, apply. So here, it is shown here. Okay. Okay, here. So the column of the parameters that we just had defined in the user-defined field for the project expenses is already here shown. So as you can see, it is zero value because we have not yet calculated it. Once we calculated it through global chains, the formula will be run by global chains. This area here will be populated. Now, if this area here should be the direct cost plus the overhead plus the contingency plus the contractor's profit here and plus the value added tax, it will give you the total budgeted cost because all of this area here from overhead, contingency, contractor's profit, and value added tax are all the markup elements of the activity. But now it is still 500 because all of these markup elements are now zero. So once it will be populated later, once after our calculation, this will be increased. Okay. I'm just showing you now that this is zero, so that later on we can see it is populated. Okay. So let's proceed to the derivation of formulas to be applied to the global chains. So we will go back to our presentation previously here, and then okay. Okay, here we are before. So we have already defined all of this into the user-defined field under the subject of project expenses. So now we will derive the formula for the global chains, and there it is. Okay, global change formulas. First is the G, the direct and indirect. Okay, here is equals to G is equals to the direct and indirect, which is equals to the current budgeted cost. BC is the budgeted cost, stands for budgeted cost. Okay. Now let's calculate formula for the overhead is J multiplied by our assumptions here is 10%. So we have to multiply it here. We will be using the decimal figure because in Primavera there is no percent. Okay, let's go to L, which is equals to the same case as in overhead. That is the budgeted cost or the current budgeted cost multiplied by the assumptions of 10% also. So we will put it here. And then we have here the M, which is the subtotal. Okay, the subtotal of K plus L. Okay, let's go to N, which is also the subtotal of J plus M. And then O is the contractor's profit. That is the last subtotal multiplied by our assumptions, which is 10%. Okay. And then P is the subtotal plus the contractor's profit, which is O. And then we have our value added tax, which we have an assumption of 15%. So we will put it here. And then next is we have now our budgeted cost new. Okay. Why new? Because now we have our current budgeted cost here at the top. Once we calculate all the markups in here, and it will be added on top of this current budgeted cost. So a new calculation of the budgeted cost will be derived. Okay. So the derivation of formulas, we are already done. Okay, let's apply the formula into global change. So we will open our P6. Okay, and then okay. As we can see here before, this is our last the last program that we have before. This budgeted total cost is the total cost here is this 26,547,058.4, but it only contains the markup cost of the activity resource assignment. But on the markup cost of the expenses, there is none. That is why we are working on it now. Okay. But before we forget, let's be sure that the recalculate assignment cost after scheduling under the schedule general option is deactivated or the checkbox is unmarked. Okay, we can see it here. Open the schedule. Okay, here we can see the options here. Okay. This recalculate assignment cost after after scheduling, it should be removed, because if we check it and then later we forget to run the scheduling, it will recalculate the it will run the recalculation. So you'll be repeating again your calculation. So that is why once we run it, we don't need to rerun it. We don't need to recalculate it. Okay, just remove it and close. Okay. Okay, let's apply the formula to global change. So we will go to global change. The global change is here. We will go to tools and then global change. Okay. So previously, we have already the formula here for the what do you call this? Resource budgeted cost, method A. Now we will create a formula for the project expense, method A also. Okay. Okay, let's click new. Okay. And then here we will put the name, what shall we put in there? The expenses budgeted cost, method A. Okay. Now here under this subject area, we have to choose the project expenses before we use the activity resource assignment, because we are working on the resource assignment. But now we are working on the expenses. Okay. I'll click it. And then here we have to filter the application of our formula into the current project only. Okay. We should be definite on the application of the formula for what project, because once we made a mistake, it's a big disaster. Okay. Okay, let's locate for the project. Okay, and our project is equals to, what's our project? That is let's click here 10. This one, right? Okay, that is our current project that we are working right now. Okay, click it. And then here, we will be here at the bottom, we will be creating the formula. So let's add. We will here we will select for J. Okay, direct should be equals to budgeted cost. Just type B. Okay, budgeted cost. Then click add again. And we have JK, the overhead, which is equals to J multiplied by the operator is times multiplied by if we want the numerical figure, we have to use the custom and then type the 0.10% and then add, and then we will be using L. And then still the same budgeted cost multiplied by still the same 0.010. And then next, we have M, which is equals to K plus what? L. Yes, correct. Okay, that is overhead plus contingency, that is equals to M. Okay, then add the next. If you want to stretch the window, just put here, yeah, just like that. Next is N. Then what is N? That is J. Okay, plus, that is subtotal, right? Plus M. Okay, that is J plus M. Okay. Let's click add O, contractor's profit, which is equals to N. Am I right? Then multiplied by O. That is multiplied by O. Am I right? N multiplied by, no, contractor's profit. N should be multiplied by 10%. So it should be custom. This one, 0.10, right? And then add, and then we have the OP, which is equals to N plus O. N plus O. No. N plus O. We have to click O. And the next is Q, which is equals to the budget value added tax. That is a P multiplied by how many percent? 15. Okay, 0.15. Okay, let's review before running the global change calculation. J is equals to the budgeted cost And then overhead is J multiplied by 10%, also for contingency. And then we have our M, which is equals to K plus L. That's right. And our N is equals to J plus M. And then our O is the contractor's profit, which is equals to N multiplied by 10%. And we have our subtotal for N plus contractor's profit. And the overall subtotal, which is P, multiplied by, what do you call this? Multiplied by 10%. So that is our value added tax. So we will add another again, which is the new budgeted cost. Okay, we'll show here is equals to P plus what? P plus Q, right? Because P is the overall subtotal plus the value added tax. So that's Q. Okay. So that means we have here our budgeted cost here. This is the current. Now, once we run this formula through global chains feature of Primavera P6, the calculation of the markup will be added onto this current budgeted cost, and it will derive into this new budgeted cost. Okay. So this one will be affected only. So let's run the global chains. You have to click this one, chains. Okay. And then yes. Okay. So here are the calculations. If you are satisfied with this, then you can commit the changes here at the bottom or not. If not, then cancel the changes. But I am satisfied with this one. Okay. I am confident that this is already correct. So let's commit it and then just click no. We don't need the log file. So no. Done. Okay, let's close it. And then close again. So as you can see here, before it was 500,000, but now it is already 59,000. And once we added all of this, it will arrive to our total budgeted cost, or budgeted total cost to 26,806,05840. So if we highlight these expenses that we had just calculated, here we can see here at the expense column, we can see here that the overhead is already populated. Okay, we can check this now. 500,000, the 10% of it is 50, 10% of it is 50. Now, if we will add this one, 600,000, yeah, 500 plus 50 will give you 600,000. And if you will calculate the 10% of the contractor's profit, it will come up to 60,000. And now, if you would add all of these and then multiplied it by 15% for the value added tax, it will come up to 99,000. And if you add the sum total of all of these, will come up to 759,000. And this is it now. Now, if you add this one, so this is our result. Okay. So what is next? Okay, let me get back to you for the what do you call this? Anyway. So what is next? Okay. Let's create a layout for our final project estimate method A by saving the existing layout of direct and indirect cost into a different layout name. This time we will change only the header title since only the values change due to markup cost. Okay, so we will save this into okay. So if you look at here, okay, let's save this and to a what do you think? Propose a project program method A. Okay, propose project program method A. We will put it into project. Okay, and then save it. Okay, so we will preview it so that we can see what will be the look. So we will go here, print preview, the direct method. Okay, here we go. So it is written here direct and indirect cost because that is the layout, the previous layout that we did before. And now we will change it into a different name. So we will page it up and then go to header. And then here we will change it to, okay, I think we will be using the S. So we need to click this one first so that we will not be, okay, propose. Oh my God. Okay, propose project program. Let's say method A. And then we will change the color, this color. We will highlight it and change it into, let's say, blue. Okay. And then apply. Okay, we're done. So this is our output for the method A project estimate, cost estimate. So this is our output now. Okay, let's print it into PDF. So we will go here and then select here the PDF and then okay. Okay, and then we will select the propose. Actually, we have already the name here. So we will just highlight it and then copy. Or we can, we will delete it so that it will know. Okay, just highlight it and then copy and then save. It will duplicate, but click save. Okay, just click yes to okay, we're done. So let's close this and then click save to be sure. Okay. So we will show it in our slide. There we go. Okay, this is our output now, the PDF that we had just created. So take a look on the budgeted total cost so that we can compare it later to the to our method B. Okay. So this is really the conclusion of our project estimate using method A. Note, this is only for our demonstration purposes to show the different method of estimates in Primavera P6 on how Primavera can do it. But the format for submission should conform to tender requirements, and this program must and can be modified accordingly. Now let's compare the direct and indirect cost estimate that we have prepared recently. If you look at the budgeted total cost here, we have 26 million. Now, if we will look at the markup, I mean, cost estimate without markup, it is here. Okay, 17,658,800. So that means the difference of it is the markup added cost. Okay. This is method A, and then method A with complete markup cost, and this is the markup cost estimate. Okay. Okay, let's proceed to the main topic for today, which is the project markup cost estimate method B. As mentioned earlier, that method B estimate is to be done by adding a separate items for markup elements into the project, which means new activities to represent the markup elements needs to be added, in which the sum total of each direct and indirect activities markup cost is distinctively consolidated. Unlike in method A, markup costs are directly consolidated to respective direct and indirect activities. Okay, let's make this in reality. So let's go back to P6. Okay, the first thing we need to know is to let's create a copy of the project with the direct and indirect cost without markup, and rename it into a new project. It is just a matter of copy and paste, so let's do it. Okay, let's go to project. I think this one, tender A, direct and indirect. This one has no markup, so we will use this for our method B, markup cost estimate. So highlight it and then right click and then copy and then right click again here on the window and then paste it. And then okay, okay, and then okay. Okay, here we go. What is it? This one. So we will rename this into, let's say, tender B. Okay, and then we will change this to tender B. Meaning PDLM site tender program method B. Let's remove this. Okay, and we are done. So we will open this one. Okay. So if you look at the budgeted total cost here is 17,658, which is this is the amount that there is no markup cost. Okay. So we will be adding a markup cost for method B project cost estimate. So using this one, you know my okay. Okay, using this new project, PDLM site development method B, let's add the activities for markup elements. That is overhead, contingencies, contractor's profit, and value added tax. Okay, so right click here and then add. Okay, we will add here the, okay, let's delete. We will put it at the bottom. So let's delete it. We will put here at the bottom. Okay, add, let's say overhead. Okay, and then add again. Let's say contingencies. Contingency. Contingency. Let's add again. Let's move it down. What is contingency and then contractor's profit? And then right click again. And then let's add value added tax. Okay, overhead, contingency, value added tax. Okay, done. So we can link this into, into the existing. But in a way, I think we have already spent a longer time. So I think that's enough for today. We will continue this on the second segment. So let's take a break for now and continue the second segment in our next session. Okay. So just remember, our last activity here is we have already added the activity for the markup elements. So we will continue this in the next session. Okay. Our next episode will be no. What will be our next episode? Okay. Our next episode will be part 2, session 14, project markup cost estimate method B, as on the second segment. See you. Thank you. And don't forget to like it, subscribe, or share. So end of session. God bless to all, and goodbye.